Tired of all this stuff. Yeah, I'm tired of that stuff too. Yeah, because like I just got off of a really stressful Devil May Cry 3 stream because my controller would consistently die and disconnect throughout the entire playthrough. So sometimes I'd have to switch to the mouse and keyboard controls, and the mouse and keyboard controls for Devil May Cry 3 is atrocious. Yes, I am still angry about that. But that's something that I put in the budget, like that's something that I do intend to replace. Whether it be with a wireless controller, which might be more beneficial, or I could alternatively just get another wired controller that's officially licensed, because the one I have was just one that I got off of eBay like years and years ago. But, dude, that is almost the same island I was on. Well, maybe we're living in a simulation then, Gray, and then that's just, and like what you're seeing is just the side effects of being in said simulation. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do probably for this stream is I might just explore more of these islands. I am one spot south trying to fill my... Yeah, see, that's what I've been trying to do the last few times I've streamed this, because for a while I put Wind Waker on hold because of the fact that Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I felt like if I played Wind Waker, it would just kind of add to that oversaturation of Zelda content on Twitch, and I'd be hard to find. But I feel like it's kind of at the point where the hype is worn off at least a little bit, where I can continue playing it with no problem. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of empty sailing for this stream, but, you know, like I said, it's going to be a short stream, and tomorrow is when I'm going to continue Final Fantasy 15. This is one of my 3 comfort games. Yeah, that's kind of another thing for me, is like after that stressful Devil May Cry stream, it's nice to come back and play this. I also have a HD texture pack enabled as well as a 16:9 aspect ratio. So it's actually running at a higher resolution and higher aspect ratio than the original. It's not quite Wind Waker HD, but it's still pretty good. Aw, man. Shark Island. I'm playing the HD one for Wii U. Yeah, see, I'd also play the HD version if it was easily accessible for me, because I never actually got a Wii U during its during the time when it was Nintendo's primary console. I had the 3DS, of course, and I still have my 3DS, but I just never got the Wii U. All I have with that system is the Zelda HD's Pikmin 3 and Amiibo Festival. But didn't you have Smash Bros. 4? Because I remember there was that time that... Yeah, because I remember I came over to your house and I played it that one time. I guess I can go ahead and discover the island over here. Yeah, pretty much just like anything on the GameCube really is a comfort game because of the nostalgia that I had for it growing up in the early 2000s. Because for a while there, the only console that I actually had was the Nintendo GameCube. Because moving away from my grandparents' house, my aunt kept the N64 and all the games, so I didn't really get to experience any N64 games for the longest time. So, for a long period of time, I just had up until probably like 2009, I had just the Nintendo GameCube and then a Nintendo DS, but... Bet you wish you had the Swift sale, yeah. It's aggravating, and I can install a mod, or like, part of the randomizer tools for this game lets you get the Swift sale, but I just haven't taken that dive, because I haven't really played a lot of Wind Waker, like... Because like I said, once Tears of the Kingdom came out, I was just kinda letting it sit for a while just because I didn't want to stream it at the same time as Tears of the Kingdom came out. Because everybody would be watching Tears of the Kingdom and not Wind Waker. My Cumber games is split between the N64, PS2, and some 2000s era PC games. Super Mario Sunshine is probably one of my biggest comfort games. Because I remember going over... I remember staying home from school sick and just playing Super Mario Sunshine on my mom's giant TV at the time. You don't have any interest in Tears of the Kingdom? Is it just because of the hype, or is it just because it's like it's so similar to Breath of the Wild that you don't see the point? Because, see, like, my brother just finished Tears of the Kingdom, and it looks really fun, but a lot harder than Breath of the Wild. Just because, like, the fusion system, and, like, I definitely don't have the most creative mind when it comes to, like, vehicle architecture. So, creating, like, Metal Gears and tanks and stuff is something beyond my brain capacity. It's very, very overwhelming. Yeah, that's kind of like how I felt. I just don't feel like I could... I just don't feel like I could do a lot of, like, the crazy vehicle stuff. And it was kind of the same thing with Warframe. Like, Warframe, like, I actually had to look up, like, different builds for mods in that game because I just could not understand, like, what good combinations were. I mean, I do want to play Tears of the Kingdom at some point, but I'm definitely not in any, like, specific rush to play it. Just because I can play it at any time, and when I just had a lot more time to play on my Switch when I was in college. Because, like, it was almost every night, like, from when it first came out in 2017, Breath of the Wild, like, I would just be playing Breath of the Wild every single night when I was in college. Plus, I've got a lot of good memories with it, because when I was in college, back in 2017, that year, I had a really bad roommate. So I remember Breath of the Wild specifically because I was able to talk to the college, and they were able to get me a private room where I just had... the room was entirely to myself, and it was kind of like a suite-style dorm. So I have good memories of that, because I started playing Breath of the Wild, like, as soon as I got into that new room. So I kind of have good memories associating with that and getting my own space in college. It was so much nicer, too. Like, technically I had to share the bathroom, because it was like a bathroom that went into that had a door to the other room, as well as a door to my room. But, you know, it was a great room. Like, what was I in college for? I was in college for graphic design and video editing. So my degree is, its official title is a Bachelor of Science in Technology with an emphasis on graphics communications. So while graphic design is in my degree, I'm primarily a video editor by trade. Video editing as well as commentary and live broadcast. And, of course, camera work. Because that's what I did for the longest time before I left that job field because of the stress. I actually was doing an internship for, like, a day at the, I think it was, what was it, the Office of, like, Art, like, Printing and Design Services, that's what it was called. So, I interned a little bit at a Printing and Design Services, like, campus store. So that was another thing I did. But yeah, it's like, you know, people will say, like, oh, well, that person peaked in high school. It's like, or that person peaked in college. It's like, sure, a lot of the fun stuff in my life peaked in college, but at the same time, I'm not letting that limit me because I'm having a lot of fun streaming and doing what I do. Telling stories as I evade sharks. I'd be scared to be that fish with, like, 3 sharks just kind of circling his area. College was like 50-50 for me. I'm glad I went, but I don't feel any more ready or prepared for the world. I don't have any regrets for going to college. Like, there was a lot of, like, valuable experiences I learned, and it helped me to be more comfortable. Like, because when I first went to college, like, I was terrified, because I hadn't really been that, like, away from home for that long, for an extended period of time. Just because it was just so new to me. Because I lived at home for most of my entire life, up until I turned 18 when I went to college. That was the first time for any extended period of time, I was away from home in another state, and it terrified me. But, like, as time went on, I actually preferred being at college to home because my home internet was shit, and then my college internet was, like, some of the best internet I have ever hooked up to my computer. To be fair, I got a degree in marine science when I should have done something more generic. Oh, see, and here I was so excited to be away from my family. Yeah, like, college was a fun experience, but, like, it definitely scared me at first. It was intimidating. However, a lot of the stuff that I learned, like, as far as editing, even though I did get a lot of hands-on experience that helped me in getting the job at the TV station, one thing that really just, like, I really feel that a lot of what I learned could have just been learned from a YouTube tutorial. The hands-on experience is valuable, but, like I said, a lot of the stuff I learned could have been learned from a YouTube tutorial. I just got a big piece of paper that says that I went through all that training and years of college work. Did you know you can fuse the... You know you can fuse the AI by not moving your boat and changing speed when they swim alongside you? Oh, really? Well, I'll give that a try. Because I think the more islands that I have discovered, the better. Just because, that way I don't have to, like, look at a physical walkthrough or anything. I can just look at the actual in-game map. And I try to not use walkthroughs as much as possible. Even though Wind Waker was the very first game that I ever looked up a video game walkthrough for. Do I really not have the Forest Haven discovered? So on comfort games, though, probably the next comfort game, like after I finish Wind Waker, because like what I usually do is like I'll have a, like I did Devil May Cry 3, but also in addition to Wind Waker. So I think the next comfort game-esque thing that I'll play is probably Mario Sunshine. Just because I have a lot of fond memories of that one, and of course I'm just going to do a casual playthrough, because to be honest, like, all of the speedrunning tactics and glitches, I'm just not really that particularly interested in, nor am I capable of really pulling them off. Like, I just kind of want to play the games and have a nice little nostalgic discussion about them. And then maybe later on try that stuff, but I do want to try to beat these games vanilla as much as possible. Come here, fish. Can't believe I didn't have the Forest Haven discovered. That's embarrassing. I got an associate's degree in IT, specifically cybersecurity. I transferred to a university for one semester, but left to pursue business opportunities. And I didn't want all the depth, so I just wanted to just get on with life because I thought I could just go for it at this point. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the stuff I learned in college could just be... I could have learned in a YouTube tutorial. However, like, the actual hands-on college experience I got and the people that I met and networked with, like, I'm really grateful for that. And it helped me, of course, get that job in TV. Even though I don't work in TV anymore, it was still a valuable experience. But yeah, like, some of the college work was just Common Core stuff, so, like, literally, when you tried to study for it, like, you could literally just go onto, like, SparkNotes or something, and it would have the same exact questions and answers for the quiz that you were doing. Because it's literally, they just went online, like, downloaded some quizzes for college-level courses, and just, they didn't even change any of the questions. But I still don't have a proper cybersecurity job. Yeah, see, I'd love to get back into TV. Like, if I could find a place that has a little bit better employee protection. Because the only, like, TV-related job that I can get around here is the one that I left. And then there's another one that's across the state border, but they're automating a lot of their stuff now, so I can't actually, like, find a position that I'd be comfortable in. Nor would they find one to put me in. Plus, they probably wouldn't look too nice that I worked at their rival for so long. Trying to find a good one is more complicated than you would think. In IT, there are specialties within specialties, and a lot of people looking for specific skill sets. If you're entry level, you're pretty shafted for options. Yeah, I would imagine IT is like 10 times worse. Like, I've tried to clear my throat. Like, I've tried to get, like, actually, it doesn't matter as much as you would think if you're working for a rival company. Well, yeah, like, that could potentially be a thing. But, like, at least for the TV station I worked at, like, literally they would... like, if somebody, like, worked, like, left to go work there in the past, like, or they had any association with that TV station, they would literally, like, send an email out and saying, oh, this person is not to be associated with, you can't talk to this person, like, they're not to be allowed on the property. Like, they just really did not want anything to do with that place. But maybe it's just, like, I had such a bad experience with that TV station I worked at that maybe... Like, a lot of other places are probably better. Yeah, like, I remember getting an email about one of, like, our, one of our reporters, like, left to go work there. And we got an email out that said, like, oh, this person signed on with another TV company, they're not to be allowed in the building, yada, yada, yada. But see, the funny thing is, at my new job, I actually met my former director, who had also left, like, a couple weeks before I did, and he said he left the same reason I did. It was because of our boss. Because our new boss was just, like, too corporate. Yeah, so I had that discussion with him, and he's like, yeah, I left because, like, I tried to give them ideas, but then I became a target. Realistically, though, like, as far as jobs are concerned, while I do have, like, a very big interest in camera work and working for, like, a live TV show, something that I really want to do is I want to be on the radio, or at least do some sort of, like, podcast, talk show kind of thing. Because I did radio when I was in college, and I had an absolute blast with that because I could share music with everybody, and it was a really good experience. The only problem is the radio stations around here, same thing with, like, the TV stuff, they're really, like, picky, and it's also commission work, and I'm a terrible salesman, so, like, I couldn't like, sell products to people. Unless it was my alleged OnlyFans trends. But hey, welcome to the stream, Trends. Mostly just exploring at the moment, getting the map filled out. But I see a fairy fountain here. And I'm already in the area, so I may as well. Yeah, like, whenever I did radio, I did everything from advertisements to PSAs. I did my own show every Friday. And it was a very rewarding experience, but, like, I just haven't had the opportunity to really do that since then. Oh, luckily enough, I've got the Skull Hammer. Yeah, the thing with radio is that, like, you get, like, maybe 2 minutes to talk maximum, like, every 30 minutes to an hour. So it'll be like, you play this song, and this song, and then you'll get a PSA, at least how it was in my experience. And then after that, like, the song would fade in, you'd turn your mic on, and you'd be like, hey, everybody, this is Eno. You just listened to Heroes by David Bowie. That song is one of my favorite. Yeah, you know, kind of stuff like that. Like, it was a lot of fun, but, like, you didn't get a lot of time to talk. Unless I did a talk show. That's why I feel podcasts would work, but be more your own thing since you can go at your own pace. Yeah, like, I've done podcasts before, but, like, I'd love to do that as just a job. Like, do a podcast as, like, a job. Because I think the last one I did was about 6 months ago, roughly, with a buddy of mine, and we just kind of discussed G4 and how G4, like, is now off the air for the second time, and the problems that it had, and so on. But the benefit of doing radio, even though I had to do, like, ads and stuff and PSAs, was just, like, music is a massive passion for me, and I just love sharing the music that I like, and introducing people to stuff that they may never heard before. Oh, I appreciate that, Big. Dude. I got on Twitch regularly because of the music scene here. Speen! I can't do that as good as Vinny, though. Eno, please play DMC2. I'm still here just in the background because my sister wants to play Animal Crossing. Hey, no problem, Gray. But yeah, like, I'm really big into music. Like, my show, when I did radio stuff, was primarily, like, it was a classic rock show. So I would play mostly classic rock hits with a few, like, I think some of the newer ones probably into the late 2000s. But it's hard to remember that music playlist because it's been, like, I think 5-6 years now since I did that. I would just like to buy some bait. DMC beef stew. Is that enough? Oh no, I still got plenty of space. More bait, the better. Yeah, like, one of the reasons I got into just classic rock in general was, I lived in a multi-generational household, so I was exposed to a lot of different kinds of music. So I was exposed to, of course, 90s hits, 80s hits, 70s hits, and even a little bit of the 60s, but mostly the 70s and 80s. Okay, looks like there's one directly that way. Probably one of the coolest concerts I ever got to go to was seeing the band Kansas live. This was, I think this was the summer of 2009 that I got to do that. But seeing Kansas live was incredible. And then that next summer I saw 38 Special. And there were some various opportunities just in my local area of seeing other artists, like Night Ranger was another band that was in this area that I wanted to see but didn't get the chance to. I think Bret Michaels from Poison, like, as a solo artist, was gonna be... I mean, you live close enough to it. Yeah, that's true. I would like to see the bands Kansas, Asia, Europe, and America all do, like, a concert together. Oh, ads. What is this? Oh, Tentacle Island. I've seen this on the internet somewhere. Here, I'll just throw this nut. Well, I guess I'm just kind of getting the islands on my map anyway, so I will come back to this. But first, I've got to find the fish. Oh, hey, it's me falling off of the boat. Not this time. Yeah, it's those scavengers or whatever. salvagers. You know, if they're trying to use some sort of dive suit, then I don't think just having the helmet is going to do you any good. You need to withstand the pressure at the bottom of the ocean, too. This looks like some sort of, like, high school club that's, like, on some excursion somewhere. But I appreciate the treasure chart. Hi, back. I had to change my identity just to be here. I am now back something. Oh, and hey, Kit. Good to see ya. Yeah, it's just gonna be kind of a short stream today. Because I have a lot of trouble sleeping. So sometimes I'll end up, like, intending to wake up a lot earlier, but I'll end up hitting snooze on my alarm a little too much, and then I'll end up waking up like 2 hours before I have to do something. And that's kind of like what happened today, but that being said, I will be streaming again tomorrow with more Final Fantasy 15. Just because I didn't want to do Final Fantasy 15 today, just because there is a lot of plot stuff coming up, and I don't want to stop. Plus, I don't know if I'd be able to get through to a point where I could save, so I'd have to rely on autosave, and I don't want to have to do that. Yeah, speaking of work, there was actually something that happened yesterday. So I was covering for somebody else's... Well, no, I wasn't covering for somebody's break. I was... over at another department, because, like, I usually work in garden. So, like, I work with gardening, like, plants and gardening tools and what have you. But this time I was over at the other end, and so this guy, outside the door starts honking at me, and he's like, "Hey, buddy!" And then he, like, gets, like, a customer to, like, come tell me, like, hey, he needed to get my attention. So already I could tell that this guy was bad news, because he's honking at me from the door of the store rather than just coming inside like a normal human being. So I go out there, and he tells me that he wants to pay off the balance on his credit card, and he can't get into the store because he was allegedly disabled. But I didn't see any tags on him, any tags on his vehicle, yeah. But basically, like, he wanted to take a check and his information and just input the check without him physically being there. And I can tell you that that's a big red flag right away. And, so, I told him I could not run the check without him physically being there, because he said he didn't have his card with him, so it's like, how am I supposed to run his information without his card? But yeah, like, I'm getting easily distracted. Yeah, so, like, I get him to come inside. I tell him, like, this is our policy. Like, hey, we can't run this thing without you physically there. It's a protection against identity theft. So he walks in completely fine. Like, no issues at all. And then I tell him, like, okay, so this is under your wife's name. Because he didn't have, like, any of his wife's information. He's like, oh, but it's on the check. So the way that our store works is that we have to have, like, the ID of the card holder with you. Otherwise, we can't do it because of identity theft protection. So he starts yelling at me, like, saying, like, oh, why would I have my wife's driver's license? Well, you've obviously got her fucking check, dude, so why? So he grabs his check in fury and then goes out the door into his truck again. He's like, well, thanks for not letting me able to pay off a bill. mean, I've got tons of retail horror stories. Yeah, not my problem. He's bad with money, or doesn't understand like the store policy. It's like if you have a card, like if you have a credit card, like then if you signed up for it, you should know how to pay it. It's like if it's on your wife's account, then your wife has to be the one that's there, or at least physically in the store with you. It's protection against identity theft, because I've had, when I was at Walmart for a number of years, there are people who would come in with fake checks, or stolen checks even. So it's like, I fully understand why my employer does that in order to avoid identity theft and the problems that could cause. Because, like, we get thieves all the time. Like, yesterday we had somebody in a bike steal a bunch of stuff. Like, the other day I saw somebody steal a Honda push mower, which was about $500, and there was nothing that I could do about it. But yeah, I've got tons of retail horror stories. Tons. I have seen probably the best and worst of people when it comes to retail. Interesting place you live in. Yeah, like, I've got tons of stories from retail. I'm trying to think of another good one. I think I've already told the one about the Toys R Us biker. Trying to think of another one specifically. You weren't kidding, Gray. It actually worked. Like, just stopping the sharks just disappeared. Oh, jeez. I'm really trying hard to think of another story, because I've had so many. Well, how about I tell a positive story? So one of my favorite things about the job that I work with the gardening tools and stuff is people bring in their pets all the time. So I absolutely love when people bring in like their dogs or what have you. So in the various places I've worked, people have brought in a number of different animals and creatures into the store. And so when I worked at Toys R Us, somebody brought in a spider monkey. Like, they had a spider monkey that was just sitting on their shoulder as I was walking in. And the reasoning that they were there is because they wanted to get a jungle gym set, like a kitty, like, little toddler jungle gym set, because naturally they couldn't find one specifically catered to a monkey, so they had to get one that was built for a toddler because it would be around the size that was necessary. But it was so cool because I'd never actually seen a monkey that close before. And then, how about the horror story about some guy named Blaze? Well, I've got nothing but positive stories to share, though, Blaze. But, yeah, like, so, the monkey was probably one of the most interesting ones that I saw in retail, but I also saw, at the job that I'm at currently, there's been tons of people bringing in all manner of creatures. Like, somebody brought in a baby goat once. Another one brought in their pet hedgehog for some reason, a snake. And then there was a bearded dragon that was just chilling out on some customer's shoulder. I've seen, like, absolutely massive dogs. Like, there was this one, I think it was a Labrador Retriever, that was so fluffy it looked like a polar bear. At another store I worked at, somebody brought in their pet cockatoo, which is like it's a white parrot. I got cornered by several guys named Blaze in the dungeon in an underworld before, but that's about it. I think the worst Blaze might do is just give you a boop on the nose. but there's a clear and present danger if you're gonna play a co-op game with me. What is in here? Oh. Oh, it's like a dungeon-esque thing. Well, at least we'll get some combat out of this stream. I was about to throw my bait at him. This one's for Cranberry. Link is an element bender. Well, wouldn't he technically be an airbender? Considering he's able to change the direction of the wind just by sheer force of will. Okay, what's in here? I mean, I think this is just like a piece of heart or something. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get something else. That's fire. Fire's bad. It's like I just learned the one rule that even cavemen are capable of doing. It's like, fire is bad, don't touch fire. See, like, I mentioned that my reading comprehension is about as good as a first grader, but apparently my brain power is almost slightly above caveman. Lamp oil, rope, bombs. It's yours, my friend, so long as you have enough rubies. Oh, I could just use the sculptor here. If I didn't hit a freaking wall with it. Caveman power. I also need these joy pendants too. I think this music is like a remix of a track from Wind Waker, I think. Like, this is the music from, I think, The Great Deku Tree? Like, it's just an ambient track, but it's still... That's something that I really liked about Wind Waker, is that something that I didn't really notice until I became an adult is that a lot of the tracks have references and little... melodies that reference older titles. So like Phantom Ganon's theme, for example. Phantom Ganon's theme, for example, has a few notes from regular Ganon's theme from A Link to the Past, and also Ganondorf's theme from Ocarina of Time. Ooh, 2 at a time. 2 for 1 special! Caveman power. Brute force, little brain power. Oh, well that's brilliant. Like, as soon as I come into this room, 2 dark nuts. Well. I need those, oh gosh, what would they even call it? Knight's Crest, I think? Well, I've got enough, but it doesn't hurt to get more. Strength 20, Intelligence 2! That sounds about right. Yeah, so... I will explain once I have killed both these Dark Knights. Oh, look at all the money! So, okay, so one of my fellow VTuber friends, his name is Crazy Wolf. I will be doing I did a video with him on the game Insurgency, and it's the first like technical collaboration stream that I've done with video that I've done with somebody. But like we even animated like stuff in VR chat. So that's something that I'm going to show off in the server soon once he finishes it. But it also goes to show you that I am an absolute menace to play co-op games with, apparently. Slapstick and also just absolute betrayal. Oh, is this a Triforce chart? I didn't think I could even get those yet. But I'm getting a lot of money out of this, so that's good. In other words, a liability. That's only when I'm feeling a little bit of mischief. For the most part, I'm completely fine. Like, it's only certain people that I do that to, like my brother, for example, or Crazy Wolf and a couple other friends. But, like, if I'm actually, like, doing something serious, well, I'll be a Triforce chart. Blaze, I see that. To be fair, Blaze, you did hit me in the you hit me in the back. And we can also blame that giant buff Riku that spawned in Cursed Halo, so that wasn't fully, you know, as a gremlin. Well, I mean, I've definitely got the ears for that, but at the same time, I'm not a gremlin. Let me see if I've got enough Knight's Crests. Because if I do, I'm gonna go straight back to Outset. Gremlin. I'm not a gremlin. It was Buff Riku, okay? So Buff Riku on that stream was the true gremlin. Oh yeah, that's another VTuber collab. Yeah, like I completely forgot that Blaze, like you and I did that stream. So yeah, so technically I've done a collab stream with Blaze more than a few times. Also, definitely go check out Blaze on Prismatic Blaze chat if you haven't already. Very good friend of mine. Fantastic energy to be around. Ina will unprovocably attack. Yeah, to be fair, there was a few times that I just threw a plasma grenade at you just to see if it would stick, and it didn't. It turned into a flèche grenade. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Respect my homies, or I'm gonna identify as a problem. Lol. Alright, let's see if I have enough Knight's Crests for this. What's up, Orca? That look in your eyes, not the one you left here with. Very good. Show me just how much you've improved your sword skills. Considering I've got the Master Sword that's not fully powered. If I say so, your skills with the sword are still at the level of a page? Oh boy, it's shearing time. No, no shearing of my fur. Hey, welcome to the stream, Wiz. I always had problems getting him up against the wall because I'll end up hitting the wall, and then he'll hit me in return. I think if you get like 999 hits, he actually mentions like, isn't your finger tired? Ooh, good save. Here, I'll throw some bait at you. I love that flower, by the way. I have a hard time getting him up against the wall. Chat, no. Sure, I'll break these pots. I mean, that's just the like, Link just, anytime he goes into a house, he's gotta break every pot inside it. But yeah, Wiz, I had a good time on your stream yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, because what'll happen is if Orca gets up against the wall, your sword will hit the wall as a solid object, and then Link will get parried backward. And that gives him the opportunity to get in a hit. Alright, Orca, I got 100 hits in. But I'll get a few more, because I've got like 10 minutes roughly. Oh, I did too. You were like the only person who was nice to me in that game. Yeah, because like Ice and what was it? Mika, they just kept like torturing you, and then like anytime like you were in trouble, I was like, okay, I've got to put a shield on you, or like, oh, like here's some food and explosives and supplies. I would feel bad if I did something to sabotage you. So, see, chat, there is your evidence there that I don't intentionally sabotage people all the time. I'll say 250 is a good mark to go for this. The explosives are too much fun. Yeah, because like the first screenshot that I have of 7 Days to Die, like it was taken on my old laptop, like, which was an absolute crap top. It had an Intel HD 4400 or something. And that was, again, 2015, before I even got my desktop. And at the time, like, I just used, like, sticks, and, like, anytime I saw a bag of garbage, like, I would be super excited because of the resources in them. Well, I guess it doesn't matter then, Gray, because I died. It's a facade, false sense of security. I am a knight. Ooh. Yeah, I've also got to give him the... because I think it's just 10. A knight's crest. How many of those do you have? Then I suppose the time has come for me to speak to you about the crests. The Knight's Crest. It is the symbol of a courageous knight. Well, considering Ganondorf's Dark Nuts are the ones using him, I wouldn't really, you know, Orca. It takes a soul who possesses not only power, but wisdom and courage. So, you're telling me that Ganondorf's, like, faceless knights have wisdom, courage? I mean, they got power, but... As a guy who fixed laptops for my old high school, I know what you're talking about, and I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I don't know about faceless, they're doggies. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, because, like, the very first laptop I got was well, technically, the first, like, laptop that I played games on was in my school's laptop, which was a MacBook from 2009. And then, in 2012, that summer, I got my first laptop, which was just basic Intel HD, 6 gigs of RAM. I think it was an i5 processor, i7 maybe? I don't remember exactly what it was. And then, after that, I got another laptop, which was, I think, an i5, and then the Intel HD 4400, and then after that is when I got my first desktop. I freaking love the hurricane spin. Amazing, you know, you did it. You have mastered the hurricane spin. At last you have made our long-held dream come true. Oh, the joyful tears. Yeah, I don't know what other rewards I can get by fighting Orca, but I don't think I'll have any time to do that. So, I guess it was just 10 Knight's Crest, which is good. Wiz, no! I just now saw that, no! Oh, no. I'm glad that somebody's holding me accountable. It's like... Sure, I don't betray Wiz when they're playing something or, like, sabotage them. But Wiz also keeps me accountable by putting all of my out-of-context quotes in his server. Piece of heart for 500 hits. Rupees at 100, 300, and 1,000. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save here. Just because it's getting to the point where I need to start getting ready for work, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I had more time to stream today, but like I said, tomorrow is going to be in the evening. I'm going to be streaming more Final Fantasy 15, because today I didn't want to stream it because there's so many important So many important story bits that are coming up, and I don't want to, like, have to stop when I get to that point. I love how our work schedules are totally opposite. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I absolutely... Like, one of the best thing about my news job was that I had a consistent schedule, but at my new job, it's just wherever they need me. Yeah, so it's hard to find time when I've got clashing schedules like that. But for the most part, it's like, during the week, I don't work until at least after 2 o'clock. But during the weekend, I work pretty much any time. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and call the stream right here. Thank you all for joining me in my realm today. I will be seeing you all tomorrow when we play more Final Fantasy 15 and maybe get to Niflheim. Don't know when I'm going to continue Wind Waker, but I've got some other stuff in mind to kind of go along with Wind Waker, but for the time being, Wind Waker might be that primary off-day game, but we'll see. Like, people wanted me to start Castlevania and other things, but yeah, we'll see. So, I will see you all tomorrow, or whenever you pop into the stream next, and thank you all for joining me today. Have a good rest of your Sunday.